Good morning, everyone, and welcome back into North Dakota Today. The annual UAS Summit and Expo will kick off later today in Grand Forks. Joining us to tell us more is the Dean of John D. Odegaard School of Aerospace Sciences, Dr. Bob Kraus. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. So this summit is a huge deal for the future growth of the UAS industry as a whole. Do you really want to explain more about that?
What's interesting about the UAS Summit, so drones have been around for a long time, but in terms of the industry and what we see today, this is the 17th annual summit. UND has been a part of it since day one, and so it's put on by a company called BBI International and UAS Magazine. But it's right at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and so UND plays a role in having speakers, multiple panels, and networking with all the people that are there, and then sharing the technology and research that we're involved in.
Yes, so for those who are unfamiliar, what does UAS stand for?
So it depends on whether you're old-fashioned or newer. The newer term is uncrewed aerial systems.
Okay.
And so it used to be UAV, which was vehicle, and it was specifically talking about the airplane or helicopter that it was, and now it's the entire system, the ground station, and everything that goes with it.
I see, wonderful. So you mentioned that this was at the Alaris and that UND is sponsoring some of the speakers.
Yes.
Is there anyone really special that's going to be presenting at the summit this year?
So this one's going to be a really big one. So thanks to our elected leadership in Washington, D.C. So Senator Hoeven is bringing the Space Force Chief of Space Operations, General Chance Salzman, and then Senator Kramer is bringing the Acting Air Force Chief of Staff, General Dave Alvin, to it. In addition to that, we have the Lieutenant Governor Tammy Miller is going to join us. In addition, we have Northrop Grumman, we have General Atomics, and then we have our UND panels and other industries that are with us too. Wow,
so some big names out there.
It's 2 of the 4 chiefs of staff.
Wow. What does that really mean to you, being able to bring these people to, you know, have your students listen to them?
Well, it just showcases the importance of Grand Forks and North Dakota as a state to the entire industry, both from the UAS perspective, but also space and national security, and how important North Dakota, the role that we play in supporting that.
Absolutely. So like you said, UND isn't specifically putting on the conference, but you play such a huge role in its success each year.
We do.
You want to tell us more about that?
Certainly. In this particular conference, so we had a story recently, the co-founder of ChatGPT is from Thompson, North Dakota.
Oh, wow.
He attended UND for a while, and we had him visiting us. And so our president, Andy Armacost, is going to be on a panel, and he's going to talk about artificial intelligence and its use in drones and unmanned aerial systems. And then myself and 2 of the other deans, Dean Tandy and Dean Runquist from Arts and Sciences and Engineering and Mines, are going to talk about workforce development and some of the research opportunities that we have going on, and then also workforce development. So the Grand Forks Economic Development Corporation is a big supporter of the conference also, because it is about workforce and jobs for North Dakota.
Definitely. Well, this is absolutely so exciting. A lot of fun things happening at UND as well. You're really in the thick of your fall semester. What else is happening up there?
Well, so we're excited that our enrollment is up again. So despite trends across the rest of the country where there's a fight for students and getting them to come, that's big. UND had a big announcement this past week. We're in the public phase for our capital campaign. So we've already raised $368 million towards the overall goal. And then the big news and excitement this week, in addition to our UAS Summit, is the football game coming up this weekend where UND is hosting NDSU. And then our hockey season had a great kickoff to the season, and then our first normal season game is Friday night.
A lot of exciting things. I know I will be at the NDSU UND football game. Maybe we'll be cheering for opposite sides, but we're going to let that slide for now.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Yes, exciting. Well, circling back to this event, really, when is it? Where is it? How can people get tickets?
So just search for UAS Summit and Expo, and it'll take you to the website. There is a kickoff event this afternoon that you did need to register for at Grand Sky, and so that's where Northrop Grumman and General Atomics are. Tomorrow morning, things kick off. The first speaker is Senator Hoeven, and he's speaking at 9 a.m. And so it starts then, and it goes all day long. There's a networking social at the end of the day. There's also an economic development social in downtown Grand Forks at a place called The Hive, which is a UAS kind of office space and getting companies together. And then continues on Wednesday with a whole nother set of speakers from 9 a.m. until the afternoon.
Wonderful. And why would you really recommend someone checking this out?
One, if you're interested in UAS and just want to learn more about it. Two, if you have anything from a small business to a large company that's involved in either the UAS industry or components of that. And so it could be sensors, it could be batteries, it could be other power systems. And so there's companies from Fargo itself that are a big part of this too. And so it just brings everybody together. And then the reason that it's special about North Dakota is we were one of the first six at the time test sites, and so we're still leading the nation in UAS integration into the airspace. So we have drones flying with airplanes at the same time.
Wow. So a lot going on up there
There
at
is.
UND then.
Yes, there is.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for
You're
joining
welcome.
us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everyone, stick around. Coming up next on the show, we have Fargo's own Daily Market in studio. That's after the break.